I think it's a misdemeanor to unknowingly take a naked photograph of an adult. I've received some emails lately because of the...
Well, look, Counselor, they're arresting people for taking photos of their 5-year-olds in bikinis now. Bikinis aren't legal. So, all these TSA people and everybody at these courthouses doing this are now child pornographers. I want them indicted for felonies.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. I couldn't believe it having to go through it. And it would be very difficult if you were going to visit a relative or had an important business meeting to not get on an airplane. But we have to do it. We have to write letters to the airlines. We have to write letters to our mayors, our sheriffs, our governors. I only thought that it was a privacy invasion. I've since been advised of the radiation involvement, the manipulation of your DNA. And for a person that flies regularly or goes to courthouses regularly, you're talking about getting a CAT scan a week, getting a chest X-ray a week.
Yes, sir, and it's getting worse. Now, as I predicted 2 months ago with the crotch bomber that's now come out with stage, they're now saying Islamicist women are going to have breast implants, so now they want actual X-rays. Stay there. It just blows me away. We commend your courage. We commend what you're doing. And if more people were red-blooded like you, we'd stop this. Well, we'll talk more about it and where we go from here. Gary Fielder, criminal lawyer for 20 years, constitutional lawyer, standing up against Big Brother, against these thugs who tried to intimidate him, who tried to physically intimidate him. If you're watching prisonplanet.tv, you can see it right now. If not, just search the term, does soldier have child porn or innocent pictures of niece? And then the news reports it's pictures of his niece that he didn't even ask for in a bathing suit in a pool. And they said, we don't care. And you see these cases now. They had one in Arizona last year where it was a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old in their towels, and they were crouched together, hugging each other. You go to jail. They take your kids. Life's over. But the government records your child's genitals. UK headlines say it violates child porn laws. Same thing here. They don't care. It's like Animal Farm, where, 2 legs good, 4 legs bad. At first, the pigs say, look at the humans. 2 legs are bad, 4 legs good. Then the pigs kick the humans out, have a revolution, move in, and they start saying, well, 2 legs are good and so are 4 legs. And then finally, 2 legs good, 4 legs bad, and the pigs walk around like humans. And it's the same thing here. It's like the illegal aliens are above the law and get to have DWIs and not get arrested or get in trouble. But citizens do. Well, the police get to break the law. This is a sick joke. Going back to Gary Fielder, attorney at law who stood up against this, sounds like you had some victory against him. What do they do when you show up now?
Well, it's. I don't think that anyone down there has seen the video, and I certainly haven't advertised it. At least, to my friends in the profession, I just sort of try to go underneath the radar, if you will. But the last time I was down there, I think something has happened. Because the last time I was down there, the private security guard, he came around the corner with that wand, and he was saying, yes, sir, and thank you, sir, and this will just take a second, sir. And he wanded me in about 30 seconds and said, have a nice day, sir. And he let me in. He let me in through the side door, and I said, well, thank you, and I just went to court. So I think that people are finally really en masse starting to wake up, and they just had enough. They just had enough, and so it's changed a little bit. But I'm not claiming victory because every time I do go down there, as I exercise the option, I just see person after person after person after person going through that scanner, and it just makes me sad. It just makes me sad because I think it's they're trying to sort of get us used to all this so that when we go to the airport, we don't think twice about it. And that's real pressure. When you want to get on an airplane, you just feel like you have to comply, and I say no. I'm not going through one ever under any circumstances in my life.
Well, what they're doing is they're setting the precedent in these special federal security zones. Now they admit they have Viper teams and TSA on the streets of Boston, New York, Houston, Dallas, Los Angeles, wanding people. People go to Mardi Gras, Folks go to New Year's Eve celebrations. The police are randomly searching people. We're being inducted into a police state worse than China.
Well, I've been practicing law since 1990, and I've witnessed it. I saw it. It's happened in front of my eyes, and I'm very saddened about it. And I must say that when it first happened, and you know, with the guys from We Are Change were helping me, we did some research. $250,000 for that instrument. We did some research with regard to incidents in courthouses, and the only incidents we could find in any courthouses in Colorado over the last 20 years was one judge chasing another judge through the parking lot with a shotgun and an officer who had gotten the gun in. People don't bring guns to court. People don't bring knives to court. People go to court to conduct business, and that's what they're there for. And, of course, they'll have that one story of a bundle of cocaine being found on, you know, a lawyer who had a hard weekend, but that's not what it's set up for.
Well, Mr. Fielder, it's more than that. I mean, take France. They said they had 154 cases of husbands and wives killing each other. So now if you yell at your wife or husband, you're arrested. They're using it, you know, one time somebody shoots somebody, so no more Second Amendment. One time somebody beats somebody over the head with a baseball bat, so you got to get a license for a baseball bat. They are using this to turn us all into prisoners. And it doesn't make us a safer society. It is the hunger of this growing criminal government to literally turn everything into a prison. Look at the public schools. Our children are being trained to be prisoners.
Well, like I say, I live it. I see it. I put up with it to some degree. I've had suspenders put on all my pants because I got sick of taking my belt off every single day, 4 or 5 times a day. I just think I just think that's segregation. I think as a human being, I ought to be allowed to cinch my pants up with a leather belt and walk through a metal detector and be able to conduct business without having to disrobe, be touched, be delayed, and I'm just that, Alex.
And to have access to the courts, and it's only getting worse.
To the court and an airplane or a shopping mall, wherever I want to go.
Stay there. We're going to come right back and discuss how we need to set the precedent in Colorado and the few other states that are putting these in to stop it before it's on every street corner, which they're now setting up in England. We'll be right back. Stay with us.